Okay. So the first product teardown, the product title is called Soulmates. Now, when I opened this particular link, it took me to this image. This was the default variant image set up on this page, which is not going to be good. If you're running ads to this product and then people click the link to the product, but when they get there, they see this, they're not seeing your message card, that is not going to work, right? First of all, it creates a lack of congruency between the ad and the landing page. And you always want those two things to be congruent, right? Meaning the image they see, you want the user experience to feel fluid, right? You want the user to know when they click the link, they've landed in the right spot. So you want to make sure that the image in the ad is the image on the product page. And for this particular URL anyway, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think they're probably going to run something like that in the ad, but then when people click through, they're going to land here. That's going to cause a problem. So you need to make sure when you're uploading products to the platform that on the product admin, you're changing the default image for the product. I don't think I've talked about that before on one of my videos, so I hope that makes sense for everybody. You need to make sure that you're maintaining congruency between the ad and the actual product, and the easiest way to do that is to have the same image. Another thing I like to do is you can use this here as a product title or as a headline. So you can actually use this as a headline to drive scarcity. You can actually use this to say something more like, give them the gift they'll always remember, right? Where it's like more of a headline. Or you can make it your title. If you're going to make it the product title, I would highly recommend always putting something at the end of it. It's like necklace. It says necklace at the end of it. And here, I'm going to start making notes here. So I would definitely put something like necklace at the end of this, because then people know what they're buying, right? Even though they're looking at this, they're going to see that it says necklace and they're just going to know they're actually buying a necklace. I know this seems, what's the word? Like maybe a bit overkill, but I'm telling you, a confused mind will always stay no, and you need to make sure this experience is as easy to understand as possible. The other thing is, I can tell you that we have live people to answer phones on ShineOn.com. So like you can see up here at the top, we have a phone number right here. And I know the individuals that answer this phone, and I will tell you that most of the people that call this number are older, right? They're definitely like baby boomers and things like that. You want to make sure that you're catering to that audience. So adding something like necklace to the end of your title is an important thing to do so that they really understand what they're doing here. All right, let's get into the actual product itself. Everything I am is because of you. First of all, you know what? I'm just going to stop. Let's go to feedback here in the Zoom call. What do you guys think of this phrase? Do you think this phrase is going to have the emotional impact that it's going to need to have to get an impulse buy on Facebook? Generic, nope, meh, not for me, no, too short, 0 out of 10. Okay, let's be constructive here, guys. Too generic. Yeah, I think that it's too generic. It is probably too short. One of the great things about your message cards is that you have all this room to write a message. So you can either do stuff down here, right? Or you can also fill up the sides like so. You have all this extra room to add a message now. And these cards are big enough that that will be it'll be legible, not only in your ad, but also when they actually receive the product. So highly recommend utilize all of that space. And keep in mind, it's the phrase that pays, right? It's the phrase that pays. You need to make sure that you're using a phrase that's going to have maximum emotional impact on your product. This one just is not going to have that. Okay, let's also ask, I want to ask anybody, what do you think about the decoration, the actual, the image of the man and the woman? What do you guys think of that? Image is bland, no good, don't like, too prominent. I tend to agree with Matt on this one. It feels maybe a little distracting. It feels like this whole thing was maybe put together around that image rather than the phrase. No emotional pull. I don't know that yeah, I think I see where you're coming from on that. I do think there is kind of this romantic kind of thing there in the imagery. The one thing I would say though, is that especially when you get into imagery of like a male and a female like this, is like, there are all kinds of reasons people may not identify with the image you're using. So notice, like, guys, some of this probably happens at the subconscious level. Okay. And some of this is just theory on my part, but like, what happens if the couple you're that's looking at this, what happens if they're the same height, or the female's taller than the male? I know that's kind of rare. What happens if the guy doesn't have short hair? Maybe the woman has short hair. Like, it's just, there are so many things about the image that can actually put people off because they won't end up identifying with it in the end. It's okay to, I think, to have an image. You just need to keep all of that in mind when you're putting together your marketing on that. Doesn't follow the greeting card format either. Very good, Matt. Yeah, that's true. So keep in mind, guys, the greeting card format: to so-and-so, from so-and-so, right? You always want to follow the greeting card format when you're doing these, mainly because it's just proven to work. It's completely validated in the marketplace. I've not really seen a lot of phrases. I'm not saying it'll never work, but this kind of stuff is pretty rare. You follow the greeting card format because it's a best practice on this kind of stuff. It would do better without the silhouettes. I think you're probably right. Okay. So I think we've spent quite a bit of time on the actual product itself. Let's look at the product copy. So it looks like the product copy is standard for this particular product. So I don't know that there's anything really to critique here. Notice that they are using the discount feature that we have inside of the platform. If you haven't seen this feature, you should go check it out. I believe it's under discounts. It is kind of a unique thing to the platform. People are still experimenting with it, still trying to kind of learn how to use it. We have seen it increase conversions on some pages is where it's at. I will tell you that I have an interest in using this specifically for my retargeting ads. I'm actually thinking about creating duplicate products. So I have like the one that I run to cold traffic, and then the one I run for retargeting, and then putting the discount code on the retargeting one to kind of build in my discounts. See, I've got some questions coming through here. Can you be generic in the format like to my soulmate, no people image? Yeah, absolutely. You can, Debbie. You can be, you can put to my soulmate. It probably helps to be specific. I'm not saying you have to be, but you know, a lot of what we see working is like to my daughter, to my wife, to my son, to my future wife, to my fiance, things like that. Hey everybody, what's up? Thank you so much for checking out the ShineOn YouTube channel. I'm Michael Christ, and if you like the content in today's video, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, check out all the links in the description below, and we'll see you in the next one.